Hey, welcome to Motivation Monday with Pastor Josh. Motivation is the act or instance of motivating, providing with a reason to act in a certain way. We're going to look at what that looks like today on this edition of Motivation Monday.
Hey everyone, welcome to Motivation Monday. Hey, this week I want to try something a little bit different. I'm going to basically have a run-on conversation with you about some different topics throughout the week. Each one kind of ties into each other, and so we'll be tackling some different things that we're all kind of wrestling with, and so they're a little bit different, and so you're going to see me in the same attire every day on the podcast. Just know that it's all recorded at once, so don't worry, I'm taking care of myself, so no worries there. But so today I want to start with this topic of, what do we call it? Conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theory. So I don't know about you, but you've probably heard tons of people talking about the different possibilities, different things that are going on, different ideas people have as far as COVID-19 and where it came from, the purpose behind it, and whatnot. I mean, there's some people who think China's all behind it, and that it originated in China, so therefore somehow China is behind it all and is using it as a weapon. There's people who think it's a political thing. There's some who think it's just a power grab of the government, that this COVID thing is all fake and that they're just using it so that the people will give them control. There's all sorts of conspiracies. And it just got me thinking about the greatest conspiracy that we've ever experienced. And really that conspiracy revolves around the story of Lucifer, Satan, the enemy, the devil, whatever you want to call him, who was, when he was cast out of heaven, because he had began a conspiracy where he wanted to overthrow God. He wanted to become God. He wanted to be like God. The pride in his heart to ascend to the throne. And so he was cast down from heaven, and then he met Adam and Eve, right? And he tempted them and basically to do the same thing. He says, to be like God. Did God really say this? He knows you'll be like him if you partake of this, if you disobey him, if you allow your pride to arise in you. And so they fall, right? They make a decision to believe the devil, and so they do. And so now we have this issue of evil and just it's crazy, right? I mean, this whole story unfolds, and then Christ comes to set us free from the conspiracy that was started by the devil. All the conspiracies and all this stuff flows from this ultimate conspiracy, and I think about it and I think, well, Jesus is the one who came to set us free from bondage and from our brokenness and from fear and anxiety and all these different things. He came to make us new. He came to set us free from all that. So the truth is that the greatest conspiracy that we've ever seen is that story. And God, it wasn't too big for him to handle. He had a plan. And I think about that often. And so here's the challenge today. I understand there could be conspiracy theories, and some of them might be true, some of them might not. And really all these conspiracies flow from that, right? Why would China, if it's true, why would China want to do that? Because the ugliness of the heart drives people to do crazy things, right? That's why if it's a political thing, then that makes sense why it's a political thing, is that people want to do whatever it takes to get themselves to a place of power and prominence. It's a human condition. And so my challenge to you today is that, and we're going to get to our motivational thought here in just a moment, but the challenge is don't freak out. Okay, don't freak out about these conspiracies. Don't let them eat your lunch. Don't let them run your life. Jesus told us that there would be crazy things that would happen. And that really leads me to our motivational Monday thought. Jesus came as the Prince of Peace, right? And even in John 14, it says that he gives us his peace. He says, I give you my peace. And I don't give you peace as the world gives you peace, but I give you this peace from me and from my Father. And then later on in John 16, he says that, I give you peace. He says, don't be worried or troubled. fearful or troubled. He says, in this world you'll face suffering and trial, but take heart. He says, I've overcome the world. And Jesus is the same one who slept in the boat when the seas were churning. He's the same one who called Peter out on the waves when the waves were crazy around him. And, Peter walked on water. We forget that, but he walked on water. And he walked on water because he was focused on Jesus in the midst of the chaos. And that's really what peace is it's to be focused on Jesus in the midst of the chaos. And to recognize, not to deny the chaos, not to deny all that stuff, not to go looking for it either. Because the minute Peter shifted his focus from Jesus to the waves and the wind and all this stuff, all of a sudden then he lost Jesus. He lost his anchor. He lost the one who was able to keep him from falling. And then Jesus even points it out and says, why did you doubt? Why did you have fear? And that's what happens many times with that. And so I just want to challenge us today. Don't freak out. Look to Jesus and trust him in the midst of all this craziness. This has been Motivational Monday with Pastor Josh. Thanks for being a part. Let the peace of God guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Bless you this week.